My daughter's impossible math homework revealed her teacher had been using an answer key with errors for years. When I corrected her work using actual math, the teacher accused me of cheating until I proved the textbook publisher had issued multiple corrections she'd ignored. My daughter Tessix came home from 6th grade close to tears. I am going to fail math again. She threw her backpack on the kitchen table and pulled out a repressor covered in angry red marks. See, I thought I did it right this time. I checked my work 3 times. I looked over the multiplication and division problems. Tyolish had worked through each one methodically, showing all her steps just like her teacher required. But almost every answer was marked wrong. Did Miss Wilson explain what mistakes you made? I asked, increasingly confused as I checked the problems myself. She just said I need to be more careful with my calculations. Tessis's voice cracked. But I don't know what I am doing wrong. I pulled out a calculator. Something wasn't adding right, literally. When I worked through problem number 4, 428 dental 37, I got 15,836. I thus had written the same answer, but it was marked wrong, with 15,736 written in red beside it. I checked 3 more problems. In each case, Tess's answer matched mine, but was marked incorrect with a different number written beside it. That evening, I emailed Miss Wilson. I am concerned about Tess's math rahan. I checked her work and believe several of her answers were actually correct. Could we discuss this? Miss Wilson's response came quickly. I used the official answer key provided with our curriculum. If Tess's answers don't match, they're incorrect. The next day, I visited the school during my lunch break. Miss Wilson greeted me with a tight smile and pulled out a Warren Teacher's Edition textbook. Here's the answer key, she said, flipping to a page with a grid of numbers. You can see problem number 4 is 15,736. I pulled out my phone calculator, but 428 Deller 37 equals 15,836. The answer key is wrong. Her smile disappeared. That's not possible. We've been using this curriculum for 6 years. Could I see the actual textbook problem? I asked. She reluctantly pulled out the student textbook. I worked through the problem again step by step. Look, 8 times 7 is 56. Carry the 5. For a moment, Miss Wilson looked genuinely confused. Then her expression hardened. Mr. Chen, with all due respect, I've taught math for 15 years. Perhaps I just showed you a different problem than what was assigned. I am looking at the assigned problem right now, I said, pointing to number 4 in the textbook, and I found at least 3 other problems with incorrect answers in your key. That's simply not possible, she insisted. No other parents have ever complained. I went home and spent 3 hours going through every problem on Tedes's last 4 worksheets. I found 11 problems where the answer key was mathematically incorrect. With growing suspicion, I searched online for the textbook's title and errata, the publishing term for error corrections. What I found stunned me. The publisher had issued 3 separate correction notices for that edition of the textbook, including specific corrections to the teacher's edition answer key. The most recent update was from 4 years ago. I printed everything, highlighted the relevant corrections, and requested a meeting with Miss Wilson and the principal. When I presented the evidence, Miss Wilson's face went from defensive to pale. I never received any correction notices. The principal, Dr. Adams, looked concerned. These should have been distributed to all math teachers. Let me check our records. It turned out the correction notices had been emailed to all teachers, but Miss Wilson had either missed or ignored them. For years, she'd been marking correct answers wrong because she trusted her outdated answer key without ever double-checking the actual math. How many students has this affected? I asked. We'll need to review all math assessments from Miss Wilson's classes for the past several years. The review revealed dozens of students had received lower grades than deserved. The school issued grade corrections and Miss Wilson was required to attend additional training. Most importantly, Ted's confidence returned. Moaned, I got an A on my math test, she announced last week, and Miss Wilson actually checks the problems herself now. I later learned from another parent that several kids had simply memorized the correct wrong answers over the years instead of learning the actual math. Sometimes being right means challenging what everyone else has accepted as truth.